Hello everybody, I'm Parker Abbott in the Renewable Energy and the Environment course, and my Do Something and Report It was on a lecture presented by Dr. Larry Wackett, a professor in the biochemistry department here at the University of Minnesota, called Is Fracking a Four-Letter Word? The online Moodle lecture on natural gas informed us that natural gas right now provides for about 25% of the United States' energy. This is mainly in electricity generation, which was also mentioned in the lecture. Now, in order for us to extract this natural gas and use it as energy, we have to mine it. A method that was developed, which is called hydraulic fracturing or fracking, uses highly pressurized water to create fissures in the deepest regions of the earth. The area that they typically operate in is called the shale level, and this is where very rich sources of natural gas are known to exist. The purpose of hydraulic fracturing is to create the fissures, allowing natural gas to leak out into the main well line, where the well back on the surface is able to extract the gas from the earth. Due to the high pressure within the shale region, the fissures are easily resealed. To prevent this, small particles of sand or silicon dioxide are incorporated into the water used for blasting. The spherical geometry of the sand particles allow just enough surface area for the methane to traverse the fissures while at the same time preventing the fissures from resealing. Water used in this process is then recycled into water pits near the well. These water pools are often what are so controversial with the topic. Again indicated by the lecture on Moodle, the United States is predicted to have about a 100-year supply of natural gas reserves on its mainland. This means that no overseas drilling is required, and this can help our country move towards energy independence, at least for 100 years. The large pink region on the map on the east coast is the infamous Marcellus Shale, a very rich source of natural gas. Because this shale is located in such a highly populated area, many people protest hydraulic fracturing. Many of their water supplies have already been contaminated, and not many people want to drink contaminated water. I certainly don't. This is an actual screenshot from a website for the Marcellus Shale protest, calling hydraulic fracturing a lie and a sham. It won't work. So many of them are very concerned about contaminating the water through the hydraulic fracturing process. With it being so controversial, there are pros and cons. Obviously, pros being that the economy will be boosted with all the jobs that it will create. It will help America become energy independent, and it can also reduce carbon dioxide emissions in half because natural gas is known to be a much cleaner source of electricity generation as opposed to coal. On the opposite side, it has been reported that the gas can leak from the fissures to the surface if a fissure is accidentally made too large and penetrates the surface. The other two concerns pertain to these leaks and how the water can become contaminated, and many people are concerned with how this water is going to be recycled. As a precursor to Dr. Wackett's research, the Deepwater Horizon spill back in 2010 was mentioned during his lecture. Dr. Wackett proceeded to state that it was during this massive oil spill that scientists reported at least 50% of the spilled oil being degraded by microorganisms already inhabiting the area. This raised questions for many researchers. To clean the contaminated water, Dr. Larry Wackett is working on encasing bacteria in silica or silicon dioxide, or again, sand. And these particles have very tiny pores which allow the contaminated water to leak into each individual pore, and the bacteria can then metabolize any sort of hydrocarbon or aromatic compound that may be in the oil that's near the shale, because it's known that the regions of the earth are all very oily and they contain many different compounds, all of which can possibly contaminate water. This is just a picture to give you the scale of his work and how tiny these organisms that he's working with. And it's just really amazing how small they actually are on the tip of a pin under an electron microscope. Before conducting this new research, which he noted was awarded a large grant last September by the National Science Foundation, Dr. Wackett worked on degrading atrazine, which is a cyclic compound found in herbicides. Many herbicides are known to run off into water supplies, and so Dr. Wackett and his colleagues used the silicon-cased bacteria as a biocatalyst, which ultimately degraded the compound in the contaminated water supplies. To conclude, it's very important that the United States becomes energy independent. Most of our energy is coming from overseas, and this raises the prices quite a bit, as we all know when we go and fill our cars up at the gas station. As for electricity production, natural gas isn't really playing that big of a role right now, but it's predicted in this graph by the year 2035 that at least 80% of the 96.65 gigawatts of electricity produced will come from natural gas. And it's important that we fine-tune our hydraulic fracturing methods so that we avoid any sort of contamination.